Hey everyone, welcome to the Notion 2023 live dashboard. And here's a deep walkthrough of the template to get the most out of it. This template, 2023 live dashboard, focuses mainly of bringing all of your essential parts of your life at one place. This template allows you to focus on your goals, break them down into actionable items so that you can perform them every day and finally and measurably reach to your goal. It also makes you aware of your time by allowing you to journal your every day. You have a personal diary, you have a weekly tracker and a monthly tracker and review, which allows you to have a look back of how the week went and how the month went and how the day really was. It's not only about focusing on productivity, but it's about getting the most out of your life and spending your time only on the valuable things which you consider valuable. So let's start with the template. So the template starts with the theme of this year. Now, the way I have designed this template is that it mainly focuses on a year long. So for this year, it is a 2023 dashboard, and this focuses on everything you need to achieve this year. The next year, it can be reused, obviously. So for this year, here we will be setting our New Year's theme, and it can be whatever you want to focus or give the majority of this year's time to. For example, for me, it would be learning science and earning money, or creating sources of income and investing more. So these can be my this year's particular themes. And I will give them distinct colors so that it's easy to look at them and they look highlighted. After that, we have a New Year's or this year's goal here, separated according to the life circles they belong to. It is very essential that we focus on every life aspect. It's as important to focus on our health as it is to focus on our finances and intellect and career. So this yearly goals database allows you to look at the division of your New Year's resolution in different life areas. In career, I have put here 3 goals for this year. That is to get a promotion, learn public speaking, which is really helpful for career, and work on an internship. In finance, I have 2, saving weekly and then investing monthly. In health also, I have 2, intellect and personal, and so on. The way you can add goals here is directly by clicking on the new button here. So you click there and you can expand this one to further add the title, whatever the goal is. For example, I can have invest $100 this year, and it's in the finance circle. It does not have any parent icon. So the way the yearly goal works is that I have integrated the Notion's latest feature of parent subtask. So whatever the sub item you add here will subsequently become a half yearly goal, which you need to achieve in the first 6 months of the year or the later 6 months of the year. Then you have a type here, which is really a formula which automatically decides what kind of a goal it is going to be. And then I have a year resolution, year goal here. So you can focus on either this year's goal, or if you're just planning to achieve something in the future. For example, for me, it would be to skydive. I want to do it sometime in my life, but not this year particularly. So I'll click someday and save it for later. You can access this from the Life OS page I have also provided in the template. And here are the goals, as you can see. And here's the table, which allows you to look at all the goals in a table format, and then also look at the subtasks. Like this is the half yearly goal, which will become public speaking course. And then you can add a new yearly goal here, which can focus on either this year or somewhere in the future. For example, I can have skydive, and then I can set, for example, if this is going to be this year and this is going to be a personal goal. Now I can expand this one, then I can add a sub item, and this will automatically become a half yearly goal. So what I need to achieve is go to higher places, which can become the half yearly goal. Then I can expand it further and add a quarterly goal, and then I can go further and expand this and add a monthly goal. So if I add something here like go to the top of Burj Khalifa, and then I can have a monthly goal, which is go to Dubai. You can see what I mean here. We have a yearly goal, which is broken into half yearly goal, what you need to achieve really in that 6 months time span. Then it is broken into quarterly goals, which is the first 3 months or the 3 months, January, February, March, or April, May, June, and so on and so forth. And then it is broken into monthly goals. Then now I have created the hierarchy only till monthly goals. So if it goes any further, it will show an error. I have integrated the formula in such a manner. So if I try to create a sub item for the monthly goal, if I expand the go to the buy and I try to create a hierarchy here, something, it will show me error because that level of hierarchy should not have existed at all. So I can understand that and delete this item. Now, one more thing we can see is that once we have created this half-yearly goal, quarterly goal, and monthly goal, it is important to assign which half-year, which 6 months time span it belongs to. We can do that from here. We can expand this. And we have to keep in mind that since this is a yearly goal, we only fill the half-yearly period. And this is the half-yearly, the first half-yearly period. And then the quarterly goal is going to fill the quarter, which is going to be, let's say, Q1. And subsequently, monthly goal can fill the month property of, let's say, February. So this February, I have to go to the Y in order to achieve this goal. This is how the ambitions page really works. If we move on to the next elements of the life dashboard, I have integrated a calendar widget right here, which allows you to look at what day it is or where am I in this year to better plan your goals and to get an overall understanding of how much time is left in this year to achieve my goals. The way I have designed this template is that the most emphasis is put on goals. Goals are the purpose of our life. It's what really guides us what to do in our daily life rather than just mindless scrolling on Instagram. What is that makes us happy and we also want to achieve. And then we have a random quote here just to inspire you to get on with your day and achieve your tasks. If we go a little down, here I have integrated an index page, quick shortcut to any of the other pages in your Notion which you want to access. For example, here I have put a few of the pages which are essential for me, like the goals tracker, which is a goals tracker system I use to organize all of my goals. Here is a little preview of how it looks. This allows me to manage and organize all of my goals and easily achieve them. And then here is another widget to give you an overview of this year. This allows you to have like a bird's view of where you are and makes you aware of your time. Then I have integrated a really minimalistic book list thing, which shows you the currently reading book. Reading books is one of the crucial parts of someone's life to gain knowledge. And that's why this is also one of the most important aspects of this template. And I have completed it 70%. So here's the progress. I also have the type here, what type of book it is, the author, how much did I like the book, and also the summary, which I can put in just a text to really reflect on the book. This also comes bundled with the life dashboard. Everything which I am showing in this particular template, everything comes integrated inside the template itself. Apart from this currently reading book, we have a planner. Now, this is also one of the most important parts of this life dashboard because you plan your goals, you set your actions, you set your projects and deadlines, and you're trying to reach them. Now, for most of us, it's not really possible to follow the timetable ideally and achieve each and every goal before the deadline and hit an ace. We sometimes slack off, we procrastinate, and we spend our time somewhere we are unaware of. And that is where the planner comes in a lot of use. This allows you to find where exactly did you lose your time and what exactly was the cause which did not let you reach your goal. I have divided the planner into two parts. One is weekly review, weekly tracker and weekly review. And then we have a monthly tracker and monthly review. So I'll quickly move on to the review part and show you how it works. So this is how the review page looks like. Here we have the table where we have all the monthly reviews present right away. We can expand these to see all the weekly reviews present inside. This is week 01, 1.1, which is number before the decimal shows the currently number of the month, and the number after the decimal shows the week. So this is week 1, which is for January, and so on and so forth. We can go on to here to just see the monthly review, and we can open any of these to actually fill the review. Then we also have a weekly review, which categorizes all of the weeks by months and shows just the weekly reviews here. Now let's open one of these and try to see how it works. First, let's see how the weekly tracker and weekly review works. This is all, by the way, is already filled. So this is pre-built, so you don't have to customize any of these. You just have to open the weekly review or the monthly review, and you just have to enter everything. The weekly review here, or the weekly tracker and the review here, the date is already set with a reminder of that particular day, which is every Sunday. So the way I have created weekly review is that the whole week passes and then you set and then you review the week on Sundays. And then you can review how your week was after reviewing actually the whole week, and then you can input here. Now, the weekly review has two parts. One is the planning, how the week should go, ideally should go. And then the review part where you actually review your week. Under the planning part, first is a simple question. Now, the planning part of the week you can usually do on the Sunday for the next week, or you can do on the starting day, that is Monday, for the starting week. Here, it simply asks a question, what do you intend to do this week? And here you input majorly, in short, what do you want to achieve in this week? One thing we always need to keep in mind is that we need to decrease our priorities. So something you want to achieve in this week should be really reduced to only 3 or 4 major goals. So under what do you intend to do this week, you write For example, you have an exam coming up. So this whole week you want to dedicate to just studying for that exam. So that's what you write here. Then you want to write goals to achieve this week. For example, if you're learning guitar, your goal should be to maybe learn this music completely by the end of this week, or save 500 rupees by the end of this week, and so on and so forth. An overview of the planned week. Now, this is not a compulsory part of the template of the life dashboard system. This is optional and only for those who use calendar really intensively. For those who use Google Calendar and the weekly planner in it to time block each and every part, schedule all the events and schedule all the tasks, they can take a screenshot of it and then they can paste it here, so that later on when the review time comes, they can then finally input the final how the week actually turned out to be, what tasks did they actually achieve, what events did they actually fulfill, and then they can put that screenshot right here, and then both can be compared to see how the week was supposed to go and how did it go. Then you can find out what reasons were there which led to this slight slack off in the week, and then we can review on it to improve on it further. Preparation. This should always be important to check mark these three things before you start reviewing your week. Your table should be decluttered, your phone should be on airplane mode, and you should start a 25 minutes time bird so that no one interrupts you and you have your whole focus on just planning the week. Where did all the time go? Scan your calendar from last week. Do your activities match your values? Did your work on things that would make your future self proud? If not, how might you overcome these blockers? What were the reasons? Everything which prevented you from achieving your goals this week goes here. How could the week have been better? Maybe if you would have avoided TV, or maybe if you would have been a little more efficient. All of that goes here. What did I get done this week versus what I planned to get done? So this really focuses on what goals did you plan to achieve this week, and which of those actually got achieved and which got remaining, which should obviously be moved to the next week or postponed anytime in the future. What unexpectedly arose this week that blocked my productivity? We can plan how our week should go, but there will be always unpredictability in our life, which will create some kinds of block in our day-to-day schedule and derail us from our planned schedule. It's not really possible to plan each and every hour of our life. Whatever unexpectedly happened goes here, just to give you a reflection of what actually happened this week. And then finally, you write, how was this week compared to the last week? Our goal should be incremental addition of values to our life. If the week was better than the last week, that is what we are actually aiming for. Then here's a little journaling for you. You can journal about the week, you can reflect upon the past week, and you can write up that here. You should be grateful of everything from this week. What did this week give you? How did this week add value to your life? What were you grateful about? 3 events which happened this week and which were memorable. Even if you were not completely productive, or even if the week wasn't completely valuable, there must have been some things which added value to your life, and as in the memorable events which happened. Then there's time for introspection. Now, this is optional, and you do not need to perform this every week, but I would suggest you to perform it every week. This helps in self-reflection and reminding you of your values in life, what you need to focus on and what is important in your life. You can go through these questions and you can fill them up. Then there's a review of the week, what the daily journaling things show up here, all the daily journaling which you do, which I'll show later in the video. Everything shows up here. The routine, this is the weekly tracker which shows up the past 7 days of the week and how did it go? When did you go to sleep? How much nap did you take? How much did you sleep in total? Did you complete all the habits? What was your screen time? Were you productive every day? How mindful were you? And how much did you focus on your health? These 3 are important aspects of your life. Being productive, that is to achieve your goals, but also focus on health equally, and also being mindful, being aware of your life and being happy in it. And then here we have another section, which is reviewing notes. Now, all the mistakes which you can improve from this week goes in here under review notes. For example, maybe last week I was watching too much television every day. So I will add a review note, restrict TV time to 5 hours in a week. That's what I learned from this week, and I added that here. This will also show up in the live dashboard main page for you to have at a glance if you add it. The monthly review is also similar with a little bit of differences, focusing on your past month. This also shows up how were the performances of your past weeks. So week 1 was really great, and then you subsequently fill the week 2, week 3, and week 4. The monthly review allows you to track all of the goals which you intended to achieve. The yearly goals database which was broken into half-yearly goals, then quarterly goals, and then finally monthly goals. Those monthly goals show up here. So for the month of January, these were my monthly goals. They were to lose 2 kgs and take a gym subscription. So they are showing up here. We do not really have a check mark to complete this as a goal. This is just to plan your month and be aware that, we have to achieve these things in this month. Milestones and projects are the real thing where your goals are turned into actions and you actually perform these actions in order to achieve the goal. We will learn about them later in the video, but it mainly has two parts. One is projects and the other is milestones. Projects is shows how your goal is broken into smaller projects, and then you further break down the projects into milestones. Now, if we go further down, we can see under review, this is where we finally review our month, which goals I couldn't achieve and why. Now we add here the name of the goal. For example, the goals we had were lose 2 kgs, so I could not achieve that goal, so I'll add that here, lose 2 kgs. And why I couldn't achieve it? Because I was eating a lot. And likewise, you review the whole month and all of your goals to really understand where were you lacking, what were the reasons you weren't able to achieve your goals. And then you have a journal here. Again, the daily journal. We have only filled on 3 days the daily journaling, but it needs to be compulsorily filled every day in order to actually for it to actually function. Now we have only entered 3 days, and we can see how those days really were, what was our mood. We go further down, and here is the weekly tracker. Now this should show all of the days under that month. We don't have so many entries, so it is limited to only these many. It shows exactly the same thing. When did you wake up? When did you go to sleep? The total sleep. Did you complete your habits and your screen time and your productivity, mindfulness, health, how was today, and mood. Now you'll see that this how was today and the mood is same in the weekly tracker thing and the journal, because it's actually essentially a relation. So this is really related to the routines database. So once you fill it here, it shows up here. Then you have how much did my habits improve this month. Now what this means is that we have a habit tracker in the dashboard where you put all the habits you want to achieve. For example, code every day for 1 hour is one of the habits I want to achieve. And it's really important to measure the habit in some way or the other to actually come to know whether we have improved or not. Now, we have to choose for coding 1 hour every day. We have to choose some kind of measurable quantity. Then we input that here. For example, I input 1 hour this month, and then I'll go on further. And in February, I improved this habit of coding for 1 hour, and I'll make it 1.5 hours, and then so on and so forth. And at the end of the year, you can see how much did your habits improve from January to December. Maybe by December, I was coding for 6 hours. So I'll put that there. And finally, this part is always important, finding the gratitude in this month. It's always important to be thankful to life and be optimistic and happy in your life. Find the 3 highlights which happened this month. Maybe you went out with your friends. Maybe you had a lovely dinner with your family. What was good about this month is also the same memorable events in this month which you need to store. Take action is again the review which I showed, which was also present under the weekly review. So I really need to fix my sleep schedule. So that is noted under the review notes. Now we'll go back to the Lifers dashboard and see how it all connects in the main dashboard. We can easily access our currently active week or months from here, and then we can track the week, or we can review the week. We go down here, and then we have vision, identity, habits. We'll come to those later. To work on is exactly the same thing which we did just in weekly review and monthly review. We take notes of the weeks and the months, and they show up here. So these are the things we have to work on: fixing sleep schedule, socializing more, and restricting our TV time to only 5 hours in a week. Let's come to journaling. Now, journaling is something you have to do. Everything you have to do is every day you have to wake up. You click on new, and then you open it. Now, here it's not showing, but by default, the template will be loaded. Now, here you input the name, any random name you can put for your journal. This is different from personal diary, by the way. That's a different database. This focuses more on gratitude journaling and planning your day. So you just input a title, what a wonderful day. And then you input the date of that particular day and routine. So how routines and the daily journal is linked is that you create a relation right here. You create a new routine entry right here in the journal, and then you go on to fill the routine. So how you create a routine new entry is that the first 2 numbers go on to represent the date, the second 2 numbers represent the month, and the last 2 numbers represent the year. So for February 2, 2023, it will be like 02 for the day, then 02 for the month, and then 23 for the year. Like this, we create a new entry under the routine database, and then it automatically shows Thursday using this date. The mood and how was today are related to routines database, so it automatically picks up the data from there. Today's highlight is what you really enter at the end of the day, because it's just the morning and you can't have any today's highlight. Now, how the template works is that if you have lots of cloudy thoughts in your mind just after waking up, you can use the brain dump section to write whatever comes to your mind. But it's well recommended to write this every day to clear out your thoughts completely. But you don't have to take it so hardcore from the first day itself. So maybe it's all right if you don't do it. We have a morning routine here. You can set up a morning routine here to follow every day. And after you fill the journal, you start with the morning. Here are some of the comments to motivate you just after waking up. Gratitude, affirmation, and identities are important aspects of the daily journaling. I am grateful for my hands. I am grateful for Notion. I am grateful for brain. Affirmation is complimenting yourself every day to reflect what kind of a person you are and what good qualities you have. I am humble. I am funny. I am smart. Identities is another really important part of achieving your goals. Now, identities are the goals you're trying to achieve and what identity you need to follow in order to achieve those. For example, if you're trying to learn guitar, if you're trying to learn coding, the identities you should form and believe in are: I am a programmer and I am an artist, which the artist represents learning guitar, and programmer, the identity of programmer, which is getting instilled in you, shows the coding goal which you want to achieve. 3 most important goals today, 3 things which you necessarily have to achieve this today. Doesn't matter whether you do other stuff or not, but these 3 things are really important to be achieved today. Not to-do list. This shows what you shouldn't do today. Eat junk, spend unnecessarily. Now, after that comes the review part, which shows you the currently active milestones for that following day. The day is picked up from here, February 2, so all of the active milestones which you have to follow today, the goals which you have to work on, the milestones which you have to work on show up here. After that comes the self-growth part and the routine. Now, you will have to choose date again here, and then you put when did you go to sleep and when did you wake up. Now, it's just simple as that. These 4 important parts, and they just take 10 minutes in the morning to complete. The first is gratitude, affirmation, identity. The 3 most important goals today, not to-do list, and the routine. The rest is just to look upon and reflect so that you're ready with your day with the proper things in your mind. When night comes, you can again click on time for introspection, and then you can introspect to reflect upon your values in your life and the purpose of your life. We come down here, we can see a night routine, which you can set up, and this is different for everyone, so I did not really have a pre-built night routine. How was today is where you reflect upon your day. How was today? How much productive was it? What were the faults in it? What were the rights in it? What good happened to you? What something grateful happened to you? Everything goes here. It's kind of like a small part of your personal diary where you just let everything from your heart out on the page. Today's wins. What did you achieve today? What could have been better? Somewhere where you slacked off, somewhere where you procrastinated. How could it have been better? And then finally, tracking your habits. Did you take a nap? Yes, maybe I took a 20 minutes nap. Yes, I did go to gym. I did eat healthy, but I did not journal. Or actually, I am journaling, so maybe that as well. We can also choose which habits we want to skip for today. Now, for example, if I skipped exercise, so I may not have to go to gym today. So we can do that right there. After that comes the reflection part, which shows broadly how was your day. Like, was it productive? How much mindful was it? These are not the individual actions you take, but what your individual actions build the day to become. Now, how I use productivity entry right here is first let me demonstrate the mindfulness and the health entries. So mindfulness is out of 5, you just rate your day. So maybe it was 4 out of 5 amount of mindful. I did go to gym today. Oh, sorry, I did not go to gym today, but I did eat healthy. So that goes here, 3.5. And then also we have how was today and the mood. Maybe today was really productive and I am really happy today. Now let's come to productivity. How productivity works is that I have divided a whole day starting from the morning and ending at night into 4 different parts. There is morning, then there's noon, then there's evening, and then there's night. And there are 4 digits which make up this productivity entry. They represent those parts of the day. So if you're, for example, if your morning was really productive, so you rate your morning out of 5, maybe it was 4 out of 5 amount productive. So you input that there. Now, if your noon wasn't productive at all and you slept throughout the noon, you'll enter productivity to be 0 in the noon. And then maybe your evening was really productive, the most productive it could be. So you'll enter 5 out of 5 for evening. And for night, maybe it was moderately productive, not so productive, a little relaxed. So you'll input 3 in that case. And then this one takes out the average and tells you how much productive your day was. I have created this system for tracking productivity because some days it might happen that your morning and your afternoon was really productive, but your evening and night weren't productive at all. But this gives you a false satisfaction that my whole day went productive, and that's why I have systemized this. But however, if you want to use the trivial way, you can also directly input just a single digit and it will calculate and directly tell you the same thing, that it was 4, it will show the same thing. Then we come to memories, and this is just like your personal diary. There's nothing much to it. It's just a simple database which allows you to write whatever you want or store whatever you want. You give it a Ellie's, I don't know whose name it is, birthday party. And then you choose the category. It was a social event. Sorry for that. Social event. You can type your experience. It was really fun. And you write the highlight here. Was it really a lot memorable? So you choose this one. And then you write whatever comes to your heart right here. It shows up here, your memories. We go down And then we have right here what the sub-tasks of our yearly goal. We scroll a bit down here and we can see the half-yearly goals, the currently half-yearly goals, the current quarterly goals, and the monthly goals. This shows you what goals you have to achieve in the first 6 months, and in this quarter, that is the 3 months, and in this particular month. The one thing here is that you'll have to continuously change this every month, because implementing a formula for this, I haven't come up with a formula to implement this, but once I do, I will inform you guys really soon. You have to, the filter which is applied here is the month is selected to be January, but since February has come, I'll choose that one and remove the January so that it works accordingly. Beside it, we have a habit tracker. Now this habit tracker is basically another view for the routines database, which we have present right here. The routines database has a lot of cells. There's day, date, week, day, slept, woke up, nap. And I've also implemented the habit tracker within it. This mostly is the habit tracking part, where you have all the habit tracking habits you need to track right here. And then it also shows you the progress. You also have a skip right here at the end. So for example, at this particular day, you only performed a single habit of sleeping by 1, and you ignored all of the other habits, gym, eat healthy, and journal. You can subsequently input all of them right here, and it will show, well, at least you did complete 50% of it rather than 25%. The habit tracker present on the Notion Live dashboard page is just that, and it updates every day, showing what habits you need to achieve that day and what is the progress for that day. And then we come down here and we have a weekly tracker, which shows you how your last 7 days went. What habits did you achieve? How much did you sleep? What was your screen time? How much productive your days were? How much mindful your days were? How was your health? How was that particular day and your mood on that day? You can even take notes for a particular day if you feel like. Otherwise, we have a weekly review and the monthly review notes taking system right here. Then down here, we have a calendar view of all your memories. So Ellie's birthday party was on 2nd February. So we input that. And then maybe on some other day something happens, you input that memory here and so on and so forth. We also have a notebook system right here, which allows you to create notes and store notes. So for example, if you want to create a note, you write the note here, for example, learning Notion. And yes, it is urgent, so it shows up at the topmost of your list. It is open and scratch because I haven't started writing it. And then you choose the category, whatever the category is, and hence is your notes database. So how the goals tracking system works in this live dashboard is that first and the most important is vision, where you input your ultimate goal, what is to fill. You have the circle, the duration. Long term is usually many years, maybe 5-6 years or even longer. Moderate means usually 2 to 3 years, and short-term goals are those which are achievable in just a year or maybe 2. Status is what you can choose, not started, on hold, on track, achieved. So while trying to achieve a goal, you might put it on hold for some time, and that's why the on hold status exists. There's a progress property which automatically gets picked up from the projects and milestones. So how the goal system really works is that you have vision at the top, which is your ultimate goal, and then you break down vision into smaller achievable projects, which are multiple parts of your goal. Then the projects are broken down into milestones, and they are further broken down into actions and habits. You also need to adapt an identity, a mindset, to achieve a particular goal, for which the system of identity exists. So after that, you also need to have a clear understanding why you are. So it's also important to know why you're trying to achieve a particular goal, and that's why filling the reward property is also important. It gives you a clear understanding of why you want to achieve that goal. After all these, you can click on the project property here and create projects under the vision. Once you have created the projects, they will show up here, and they themselves have many properties like status, timeline, progress, which is a formula which is calculated by the progress of milestones. Now, state is also one of the most important formulas, one of the most important properties. State usually tells you in which month you have to work on the project. And if in any case the project is overdue, let's say the date has passed and you still haven't started working on the project, or the deadline has been crossed but you haven't completed the project, the state shows overdue error, which lets you know that there's something going wrong with your goal. There's due, which tells you your deadline, and then you have milestone here. Now you can add the milestones under project, and then those milestones show up here on the right side in the live dashboard. Now they also have some properties which you need to fill, and habits really are connected to milestones and vision as well. So you can directly input a habit. If the habit you want to build is something specific to a particular milestone, you add it to the milestone property. Otherwise, if there's a habit, for example, you want to learn guitar, the habit which will be consistent throughout is playing guitar or practicing guitar every day. So that habit you can add directly to vision. It's also important to mention the identity in vision for every goal you're setting. For example, for building an app, the identity mostly would be the mindset of a programmer, and so on and so forth. This is a brief overview of how the goals system in the live dashboard works. If you want to get a proper understanding of why this goal system is being used, I have another video on a detailed goal system. Check that out.